I better get it right this time. This is the third time I've done it and I'm getting pretty knackered. Getting great shape without doing hours of boring cardio is something that I would have said a few years ago, but I've changed my tune. In this video, I'm going to explain why. Oh, I need to get outside. It's too hot in here. Whose idea was it to do a cardio session, then try and record a vlog straight after? I might rethink that next time. I thought, you know, I'm going to be really pumped up, so I'm going to feel good. Yeah, no, I just felt knackered afterwards. And then trying to push that sled up and down and talk. I thought I'll come outside, get a bit of fresh air. In this vlog today, I'm going to discuss how I'm approaching the endurance section of the ATHX Games. I'm going to give you a tip of how you could incorporate some more cardio into your training, and then explain why. Why it might be a good idea, why I've changed my tune. Should we start with the tip? Because if you don't get past the first minute of this video, then you're not going to get the tip. I want to start adding cardio. Shall I do high intensity? Shall I do low intensity? What shall I do? My first question is, how long have you got? You know, how long have you got during that week to add cardio work into your current schedule? And then start there. Then that will then dictate the type of training that you do. Let's say you've got three lots of 15 minutes. This is how I would approach it. And this is a really good way to approach it if you want to start incorporate running into your training. It can work for any other modality, but running especially. Running is part of the ATHX Games, so that's why I'm talking about running today. But running is one of those things that is a good skill to have. Your ability to be able to move your body quite quickly from A to B is a useful skill as a human being. And as we get older, if we don't use that ability, we will lose that ability. How would we apply that to running? You can do it to biking, rowing, whatever. Shut your mouth, start running. Run until you can't keep breathing with your mouth closed. And then when that happens, open your mouth, don't pass out, walk. But try and continue breathing through your nose. And then over the space of weeks and months, what will happen is your ability to be able to breathe through your nose whilst running will increase. Why don't you just breathe through your mouth to start with? Well, breathing through your nose helps your body become more efficient at breathing. Your wife or your partner, or husband, they're going to thank you for it, because if you breathe through your nose and you're more efficient breathing through your nose, when you're in bed at night, you're not going to be snoring quite so much. It's going to make you feel better as well. If you're stressed out and you're all here and you're breathing through your mouth, it just raises that stressed out. But if you can breathe through your nose, it calms your nervous system down. And also what it does is it limits how hard you can push yourself, because as soon as your heart rate goes high, you're like, I can't do it anymore. You slow down and you walk. What it does, it gradually eases you into that cardio training. This is how 2 years ago I started re-implementing running into my own training. A knee injury which flared up, and it meant I couldn't run for a good couple of years. Every time I did it hurt. When my knee got better, I wanted to start running, and that is exactly the way that I added running back into my training, and I felt good. My knees felt good, just generally felt good, because I was getting practice in breathing through my nose. I started off with 3 sessions a week of 15 minutes. To start with, I was only running for 30 seconds and then walking for a minute. And then I got to the point where I could run for 15 minutes, totally breathing through your nose. It's a bloody good way of starting. Oh, that was a fly in my nose, fly in my eye. Let's talk ATHX Games and how I'm approaching the endurance section of the ATHX Games. 12-minute run, far as you can, 2-minute rest, 12-minute bike. And I'm doing it in a pair, so it's me and my wife are doing it. So I think I'm going to set her off on the bike to start with, because I've tried the bike and it's the bike Concept 2 bike erg, and my legs just blow up when I do it. So she's the fitter one out of the two of us, so she can go on the bike first. I'm going to run first. So it's basically just how much can you withstand the suck. I've already been running, and I've had running as part of my training for the last couple of years. I'm not a great runner by any means. I could hold if I had to run right now, I probably could do a 10K and just shave it just under 50 minutes. I could run a 5K quite comfortably, about 23, 24 minutes. So my running is okay. For that 12-minute effort, my goal is to get 3,000 meters. So that will be me running at a 4-minute per kilometer pace. My goal for the bike, which I oh God, back in the day when I used to work at Bannatynes and I used to work at the Oasis Health Club in Norwich, I used to do a lot of spinning. And when I finished working in a gym as a gym instructor and a gym manager, I vowed I'd never get back on a spinning bike. And I haven't. So over the last few years, I really haven't been doing much in the way of cycling. So getting on that bike for the first time in a long time felt difficult. But I've been back on the bike for about the past month now, and it's slowly starting to feel a little bit more accustomed to it. My goal for the ATHX Games is to hit 6,500 plus. I did it at the weekend after a run, and I got 6,300. Sod it, 7,000. 7,000 is the target. Let's go for 7,000. I think I can get 7,000 meters in 12 minutes. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. But how am I approaching it? Like, they could have a really elaborate training program, but I haven't. I'm doing cardio sessions twice a week. Any more than that, it's too much. It wears me out. I can see a dog over there nicking my shoe. No, I'm safe. The dog hasn't got my shoe. I made the mistake of leaving all my stuff on the table over there, and there's two dogs running off without my shoes in their mouth. I haven't got an elaborate training program. I'm training cardio. When I say cardio, the longer 45-minute, 50-minute, at a steady pace, 130 to 150, that zone 2 cardio pace a couple of times a week. Any more than that, it just affects my other training. I'm on the move again. I'm on the move. I thought someone was stealing my stuff off the table, but it was a person who works in the cafe clearing the table next door, but I'm going to go back over to it anyway. Any more than twice a week, then it just saps the life out of me for my weights training sessions. Building muscle and building strength is my priority. Yeah, I'm training for the ATHX Games, but at the end of the day, that's not the sole priority. It's just a thing that I'm doing. And lifting weights and being strong and having more muscle is important to me. But at the same time, I want to have a good cardio base for the ATHX Games and for life in general. 2 sessions a week works perfectly for me at the moment. The actual session itself are not groundbreaking. I live about 3K from the gym. I'll run to the gym at a nice steady pace, keeping my heart rate in that range that I just said, 130 to kind of 150. Get on the bike at the gym. I'll bike 12 minutes, again, keeping my heart rate in that same range. And then I'll run home again, and that's it, about 45 minutes. Today, I was training somebody from the gym, so I was here already. So I ran 3K round the block, got on the bike, 12 minutes, then I got on the rower today. I haven't been on the rower for ages. Oh, that was a lot harder than it should be. Even though I was trying to keep my heart rate at a kind of 140 pace, it still went up. And the other session on the week is similar. I might just go out for a longer run, about 45 minutes, anything from like 7K to 10K. Running for me, anything over 10K, starts to aggravate knees and hips and things like that, so I tend to avoid it. So keeping that just under an hour, a nice steady pace. Or I might do a class in the gym that I train at, Overload. They have a class on a Sunday, which is sometimes it's kind of high rocks based. More recently, they've been adding more ATHX type movements in it, so that's pretty cool. Again, it keeps my heart rate for about 45 minutes in that range, and that's it. Nothing too complicated. Over the next few months, I'll start adding a little bit more specific stuff. It's like making sure I know the pace that I can stick at for the actual competition itself. But I've just come to the realization that actually this wasn't that exciting. I'm just basically running to the gym, biking and running home again. That's the training program. Why is cardio important when you get a bit older? You know, 20 years ago, people would say, oh, shouldn't do cardio because it'll burn all your muscle. It's like, well, yeah, if you run in a marathon every day, but if you're adding a little bit of cardio into your training program, having a good cardiovascular system, your heart and your lungs, it's going to help you recover better. If you can recover better, then you can lift more weight. If your cardiovascular system is in check, you reduce the risk of the nasty things that happen when you get older: diabetes, stroke, heart attack, all those terrible things. It reduces the risk of those things. You feel better in yourself. You know, if your heart is beating less, if you're fitter, it's simple. You just feel less stressed. You feel better about yourself. You know, going for a run or a bit of cardio work, you feel good afterwards. It could just be as simple as like you just doing some work and it makes you feel nice, and that's it. You know, so yeah, you don't need to be in shape. We're doing hours of boring cardio, but cardio doesn't have to be boring. It doesn't mean going on a cross trainer and just like plugging away. Pick some equipment in the gym. You know, if you're training in the gym, 4 bits of kit, 5 minutes each, twice through, nice steady pace. That's it. That's it. If you found that tip at the start useful, you probably didn't find my training program about how I'm approaching the ATHX Games cardio program useful. But if you found that tip about just doing nasal breathing only to start with, and then building up from there, and you actually implement it, please reach out, drop me a message, drop me a comment below. If you want to get more useful tips like that and more boring ramblings about how I'm approaching the ATHX Games, please subscribe to my channel. That was a big sell, wasn't it? It was a good sell there. Top salesperson, me.